Yo, what is good? Welcome back to another Pokemon Legends ZA how to use Vaporeon. Vaporeon is one of my favorite water type Pokemon that I've been using a lot. If you've noticed, it's been basically almost on every team. It's kind of one of those Pokemon that I want to consider to be like a all-arounder. It's got the bulk, it's got the tankiness, it's got the offensive power, it's got pretty good speed on the maps, but overall it's been really good in games, mainly to be able to match up with Pokemon that are still current meta, like the Metagross. If you've seen some of the videos, Vaporeon is able to handle a regular non-Metagross. Lately I haven't been seeing too many Mega Metagross, but it can do lots of things to basically all the Pokemon that are currently being used quite frequently. The Garchomps, the Mega Dragonites, the fire types like Chandelure, able to, it's actually a lot of Pokemon. But yeah, let's talk about Vaporeon. We got Hydro Pump, 110 damage. We got Ice Beam with the 90 base power, Shadow Ball, being able to hit Pokemon like Chandelure, Metagross, and plenty of other Pokemon, maybe the Bellfox too if you have Hydro Pump on cooldown. Calm Mind. Calm Mind is probably one of the main things that you're probably going to want to be doing first. You don't necessarily need it, but if you want to guarantee some KOs. Normally, how I like to play Vaporeon, what I've noticed is that most Pokemon, I can't really one-shot. So it all depends on the Pokemon that you're going up against. And if I know I'm able to one-shot, then by all means, Calm Mind, C+, Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, or Hydro Pump, depending on what that Pokemon is. But basically what I have here for the item for Vaporeon is the Wakan Berry. Wakan Berry is very common because now we have Xerneas going for Thunderbolts and any other Pokemon going for those electric type of attacks, even the Thunder Fangs, Thunder Punches, and it does amazing. Like I said, you're able to get into scenarios where you're going up against a regular non-mega Metagross and it goes for Heavy Slam, it goes for Thunder Punch, and then the damage you start taking doesn't seem very high. And by the time you click Hydro Pump into a Shadow Ball or Shadow Ball into a Hydro Pump, even better if you have a Calm Mind up, super great, very well. But yeah, this is basically Vaporeon. Modest nature, 100 on the HP. I did invest in the defense, and I do have a special attack. So you might want to go ahead and run this. It's a good Pokemon. I'm finally letting Vaporeon out. Go ahead and use it. You won't be disappointed. You'll love to have it on mostly every team. And yeah, let's see what else we got. So some other options that I've seen people using is Hydro Pump with Surf. That's definitely another alternative. Maybe you want to run the extra belt to get that extra damage and you get rid of the Calm Mind. Or you can still run the Calm Mind, but you're just going to have to get rid of one of the other moves. But you can also, I haven't really seen it, but if you want like a faster, I think Icy Wind is a faster animation. Icy Wind is base 55. It's a pretty nice move to run. It also gets Blizzard. Maybe you can run Expert Belt or even Quick Claw. Quick Claw is very fun to use, especially on some of the slower Pokemon. Hydro Pump coming out very fast is very scary. Same with Blizzard, where it's like just canceling the animation, which is very nice. So you can always do that. Or you can run Quick Claw with Calm Mind, and then you can just get rid of Surf. And you can do something like this. I would definitely run something like this because I ended up using Calm Mind Greninja and I thought that was fun. So yeah, let's see what else. See, normally I don't like going onto Showdown because as far as for Pokemon Legends ZA, because you start getting like all these moves that it doesn't even exist in the game yet, or I don't know if it'll ever happen. But on this website, this website's been bugging out a little bit, but we can go into Vaporeon and just to see what else it can learn. That way I don't have to click on some of the other stuff. So Tackle we're probably not going to use. Growl, Tail Whip, Bite, Quick Attack. If you want to... Disarming Voice is very weak, but I don't see it. I don't want to say it won't work because then somebody will be like, bro, I was using disarming voice and it worked fairly well. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, it can work, but I just don't recommend it. Bubble Beam is another option, but I definitely think Surf might be better. Or if you want to run Bubble Beam, feel free to do so. Haven't really seen anybody using Haze. Icy Wind is one of the options. Aqua Ring I have seen, but it's alright. Surf, we have Acid Armor. Maybe you could run something funny, like you run Vaporeon with the Rocky Helmet, because you technically can, but you're missing out on the damage here. I like to see them at 50 just so I know where we're looking at. But you're just going to be like this defensive tank now. So you're just very bulky. Rocky Helmet, you're doing chip damage with Rocky Helmet. You can still have the Ice Beam. Ice Beam. The Hydro Pump. Or if you're just worried about cooldowns, you know, or the animation, feel free to do that. You can still run Shadow Ball. And maybe you can still run Calm Mind. Feel free to run the Calm Mind so you get that extra damage and guaranteed KOs. Because most of the time, the dragons are using the Yacht Berry, and that pretty much just minimizes your Ice Beam, so you're just going to have to wait. Or, if you want to avoid that kind of stuff, you can always run 2 different types of ice moves. So you can do Icy Wind first if you know they're running the berry. Then, we can click Ice Beam. So I would probably recommend something like this if you're worried about Pokemon that's, you know, kind of doing that stuff. Of course, again, this is your bulky, tanky, defensive. Like maybe you don't even need to invest in HP. You could just throw it on here, so you just get that maximum damage while you're still tanking your HP, and you'll just be fine on your special defense. I could definitely see myself using something like this. But yeah, that is Vaporeon. Let's see if we get anything else that's crazy. It does get Wish. I haven't seen anybody use that. I've only mainly seen it on Umbreon because it's a pretty not that great of a mon. It just ends up setting up screens and whatnot. Flip Turn isn't probably the greatest. Protect is always good depending on what you're going for. Water Gun, if you're worried about cooldowns or just animations, you could always do that. Whirlpool, like some Pokemon you probably just do run certain stats, but by far I think this is where it's at. I don't think it gets like Hyper Voice or anything like that. It does get Hyper Beam if you want to be different. You probably run it with like a normal gem or something. I think that'd be pretty funny. Some of the common items that'd be really cool to run on Vaporeon is like Assault Vest, and if you want to run like especially defensive Vaporeon, then you do something crazy like that. And you just super tanky in your special defense. You just can't run Calm Mind, of course. Maybe you just start throwing in the Blizzard. There's plenty of different ways you can run it, but Expert Belt is one of the recommended items. I have seen people use Life Orb if you want to maximize its power. You could definitely run Life Orb with this first build that I recommended. And let's see what else. You don't need Focus Sash. You're most likely never going to get in a situation where you're always getting one shot. Now, let's see. So the berry, let's see what it gets. Weakness Policy is another item, but it's not like fully there. Citrus Berry is always fun too. Any of the boosting moves for the typing is really good as well. And yeah, I think that is the Vaporeon. Yeah, let me know down below. Maybe you end up trying it out. Let me know how it works for you. Pair it up with something nice, and you should be good to go. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.